Today, I'm going to look at 3 different college soccer recruiting emails ranging from terrible to pretty good to perfection. Now, for reference, I am a current professional footballer, but I did play Division I college soccer at UC Davis in California. And I also was recruited by Oregon State, Gonzaga, and a handful of other D2 and D3 schools. And honestly, I got majority of my scholarship offers and the majority of interest from schools from writing emails. And this was 10 years ago. Today, more of the recruiting is done online, more of the recruiting is done from your highlight video, and more of the recruiting is done through emails. But before we get into the perfect email template, I want to show you guys a bad email. And to be honest, it's not the worst. I wanted to show something that had good bones, that was fixable, that was almost there, that had parts to it, but just needed a lot of refining and fine tuning to get it up to a decent level. And this is a real email that I received from a high school student that sent it in to me, basically asking me to look it over and review it, correct it, critique it, and help them get more responses from college coaches. I've just tweaked a few things. I've switched out the name for my name just for privacy reasons, but this is a real email. So, subject, Matt Sheldon, 2026 recruit. I don't think this is a good subject because it doesn't give me that much information. I have no idea the name of this player. It doesn't mean anything to me. And there's nothing that's attention grabbing in that subject header that makes me want to open this. You don't have to be a clickbaity YouTube thumbnail, but you want to have some form of information or some form of attention grabber for that coach to want to open that email. Going into the email, hello coach. There's no tailoring or personalization of this email to that specific coach or to that specific school, just hello coach. When I see this as a college coach, all I'm seeing is that this kid sent this same exact email off to 100 different schools. My name is Matt Sheldon and I play for Waterside and Lincoln High, where I am a right back, right winger, and I have a 4.2 GPA. So first sentence, it's fixable. You're giving me information. I see your position, I see your GPA and where you play. But if you're not a local team, and you're not playing for a local club, I might not have any idea what Westside or Lincoln High is, where it's at, what level it's playing at. It could be an ECNL team, it could be an MLS Next team, or it just could be a local Sunday League team, recreational team. I have no idea. Westside means nothing to me. I don't even know what state or city you're in. So for this, you need to provide more information about the level you're playing at and where you're from. I am an aggressive attacking fullback that loves to overlap and get involved in the attack. My first touch is very good and I have great vision to find passes in behind and over the top. So I like how you're describing the type of player you are, but I don't think this second sentence is necessary. And honestly, I think there's even a better way that you can describe your game where it's going to pique coaches' interest a lot more, which I'll show in the good email and the perfect email. Over the last few years, we have been champions of 3 tournaments, the VUCO Cup, the Force Alliance Cup, and the Chargers Cup, and semifinalist in the other 2 that I have played. So it's okay. You're telling them how good your team is and tournaments that you've won. Obviously, your team's winning a lot, but unless these tournaments or these cups are world renowned, like the Milk Cup or the Dallas Cup or something at that level, I wouldn't really add this in, or I'd provide a little bit more context about where these tournaments are played and what level they're at. And when this kid sent me this email, these cups, and I changed the name of them, but these cups or these tournaments, I had no idea where they were played. Right now, we're one of the best teams in state. I don't know what state you're in. I would really appreciate if you could send someone to see my team, the Westside Metros. It is my dream to play at the D1 level. Send somebody where? There's no tournament schedule, game schedule, nothing was attached to this. Even if I wanted to send somebody, if I wanted to send my assistant coach, I don't know where I'd send them. Your school is one of the top schools on my list, and I hope that you consider me for the 2026 recruiting class. Thank you. Then he attached his highlight video and signed off with his name. So it's okay. There's a highlight video. He tells me what recruiting class he's at. And signed off. It's not bad. Like I said, it's fixable. There's elements that are there that are good, but it could be way, way better. Again, this is a real email that I received. I've just changed the kid's name to my name, the kids' clubs to my clubs, and the school to UC Davis. So it's all my information just for privacy. I've tweaked a few things, but this is the real template that I was given. Subject, Matt Sheldon, right back 2026, 4.2 GPA, 29 ACT, 1500 SAT. That's a good subject. It tells me who you are, your position, the graduating year, and gives me your academic stats. So it's got all the technical information I want. But again, with coaches receiving dozens, if not hundreds of emails a week, you want to stand out somehow. So you need to find a part of your game, whether it's your team, the level you play at, whether it's your speed, or whether it's something, your size, something that you need to put there without sounding too over the top that can grab these coaches' attentions. Hello, Coach Schaefer. This is the UC Davis head coach. They're tailoring this email. They're personalizing this email to this specific coach. If I am Coach Schaefer and I'm opening up and I'm reading this, I'm going, okay, at least this kid went through these emails and put my name into this. It shows me there's a little bit of extra effort, and he's not just sending this email out to 1,000 schools. Now, he's probably just changing the name and changing one or two things in the email and then sending it out to 1,000 schools, but at least he's doing that little bit extra effort, and he's looked me up, he's looked at my program, he's looked up my name. It's not just a standard email that's sent out en masse. I hope you're doing well. My name is Matt Sheldon. I am a right fullback / winger for Westside Metros, ECNL, and Lincoln High School, graduating 2026 in Portland, Oregon. So now from this first sentence or two, I get your full name, I get your positions that you play, I have your team's name as well as the level that you play at, your high school, what year you're graduating, and where you're from. This is way more informative to me as a coach, and I instantly can gauge what level you're at. ECNL, high level. That's a good level. I'm interested if I'm a coach, hopefully. I have a 4.2 GPA and an SAT/HCT score of 1,528 respectively. My style of play is aggressive and attacking based. I love to overlap and get involved in the attack and pride myself on my crossing. Really good. Really, really good. I get the information of your GPA, your test scores, and I also get an idea of you as a player. Now, again, I think there's an even better way of describing your play, which you'll see in the perfect email template at the end, but this is good. I've attached my highlight video to this email below. Perfect. I have researched your school and your program, and I think that would be an excellent fit. Why? Tell me what you have researched and why you think it would be an excellent fit. I would love an opportunity at UC Davis and hope that you consider me for 2026. Adding in UC Davis just again tailors that email specifically to that school. If I'm a coach reading this, again, I'm thinking, okay, he is mentioning the specific school. This is not just a copy and paste of the entire email. He's doing a little bit extra effort. This summer, I'll be playing in the 2024 San Diego Surf Cup, July 25th through the 27th, and attach my schedule if you will be in attendance. I would love it if you could watch me play in person. Please let me know if there's any interest at this time. This player is making it easy on these coaches to recruit him, to scout him, to watch him if those schedules line up, which is really good. Then at the end, he attached his highlight video. He said, "Thank you so much for your time, full name, phone number, and email." This is all good. Highlight video is a must, obviously. And then just adding in your phone number and email, I think just makes it look a little bit more professional. Obviously, your email is going to be, the coach can reply to that email thread, but adding your phone number just shows I'm willing to talk on the phone. I'm willing to talk via email. I'm making it easy on you to get in contact with me and hopefully to recruit me. Now, in order to level this solid or pretty good email up to perfect, to a level where it's going to stand out to college coaches, you need to add even more personalization. You need to add a little bit more work, a little bit more time researching. And by doing this, I guarantee you're going to stand out from the hundreds of other emails that those coaches receive. Obviously, your highlight video and your play needs to back it up. Your level that you're playing at needs to back it up. But with how many kids are trying to play Division I collegiate soccer nowadays, especially with how many kids are coming from abroad trying to play Division I, Division II college soccer, you also need to stand out through your emails. So now let's progress to, in my opinion, the perfect email. So for the subject, we have ECNL right back / right mid 2026, 4.2 GPA, 29 ACT, 1500 SAT, and finally, Oregon 400 meter state finalist, 48.5 seconds. So immediately from one subject line, I can see if this kid can make it at my school. I can see the level that he's currently playing at in his position. And I can also tell this guy's fast. So it's just piquing, it's different. It's piquing my interest. Hello, Coach Schaefer. Once again, personalizing that email to that specific coach and that specific school. First, I just wanted to congratulate you on a great 2023 season. I know it didn't end the way you and the team wanted, but making it to the conference finals and having all three seniors go on to sign professional contracts is a huge accomplishment. From this first sentence, when I read this as a coach, I'm seeing that this kid did his homework. He did research on the school. He did research on the Big West, the conference that UC Davis plays in. He did research on how the team did last season. And he even knew that all three of the seniors went on to sign pro contracts. To me, this kid really wants to be in this program. My name is Matt Sheldon. I'm a right fullback winger for Westside Metros in the ECNL and Lincoln High School, graduating 2026 in Portland, Oregon, where I have a 4.2 GPA, SAT score of 1500, and ACT score of 28. Very standard sentence. This is just like the pretty good email. It's got all the information that I need. I was able to watch your game a couple years ago against Cal State Northridge in the first round of the 2022 Big West Championship, and I love the aggressive, physical, and fast-paced style of play your team displayed. If you get a chance to watch my attached highlight video, I think you'll see that I have a very similar style of fast attacking wide play that your team showed in that game. I also ran track this last year and placed 7th in the state of Oregon, where I ran a 48.5 second 400 meter. As a coach, I would honestly be a little mind blown from this email. I'd be extremely impressed because I think it does a really good job of talking about the program and hyping up the program without going too far to just sound like a suck up. He even looked up a specific game and watched the game and described my school. Now you have to honestly do this, because if this doesn't describe my team and we don't play aggressive, physical, and fast paced, I'm going to be a little confused as the coach. So you have to be correct when you give this little assessment. But if you are, I think it really does go the extra mile that 99.9% of students or of players don't do. This last sentence too, of telling me how he ran track, he's showing that I can play at this fast-paced sprinting type style of play that you do, because here's a stat to show you that I can do it. I'm very interested in UC Davis, not only because of your soccer program, but also because I'm interested in majoring in civil engineering. And I know that UC Davis has fantastic engineering programs. Again, fantastic. Now he's looking up the academics of UC Davis. He's already looking forward into what he wants to major in. He's looking into the schools of UC Davis and seeing if there's a similar major that he wants. To me, it's, again, this amount of work, even without looking at the highlight video, I'd be interested just in that attitude, interested in the amount of work that went into this email. Now, again, you have to back it up, because if this kid's highlight video was terrible, or he wasn't playing at the level of what I thought was decent enough to play Division I college soccer, then it doesn't matter. But if you are playing at the level, your highlight video is good, and you have this email, you'll stand out. This summer, I'll be playing the 2024 San Diego Surf Cup, and I've attached my schedule to this email. Perfect. You're attaching the schedule to this email. You're making it easy for me as a coach to come watch you play if I attend the Surf Cup. Now, this next tip I actually got from college soccer guy, Zev. Really love this sentence and the thought process behind it. I got it from watching one of his videos a while back, and it kind of like opened up my eyes, like, wow, that's genius. But the sentence is, I'm also interested in attending your August ID camp, but before I signed up, I want to know if you're currently looking for a right fullback / winger for the 26 recruiting class. That's genius. College soccer guy, it almost guarantees a response. I don't want to say guarantee. It drastically improves the chance of a response from the coach, because by saying that you're interested in this specific ID camp, the coach is very likely to respond with information about that ID camp because he wants you to attend. But getting that response and starting that email train going is very important to follow up in the future, to ask later down the road how you did at the ID camp, to stay in contact. It's so smart. So go check out College Soccer Guy. He has tons of great videos on this concept, tons of great tips, but that line in particular kind of like blew my mind when I read it. And then finally, attach the highlight video, references, and thank the coach for his time, as well as phone number, email, Instagram, and Twitter. You don't have to do your social media stuff if you don't want to, but I think it's smart just to show, like, I've got nothing to hide. Look at my Instagram, look at my Twitter. I'm clean cut. I'm not going to be a problem if you recruit me. So that is the perfect email, in my opinion, to send to a coach. Now you're probably thinking, how do I do that much personalization or tailoring to every single school? That takes way too much time. It has to take a lot of time. It does. And that's why you separate yourself from the pack. Most people don't want to spend an hour researching and writing an email to one school. But if you do this, you stand out. I don't think you should do this to all 100 schools on your list, but maybe your top 10, 20 schools. I would go into this much effort to do so. And then from schools 20 and down, maybe I'm cutting that research time, in half or, by 2/3, but you want to stand out through this hard work and research. And I'll also show you how it's really not that much research. I did all of this in about an hour. So I spent an hour doing this research, and 45 minutes of that was watching the first half of UC Davis play Northridge. So I'll show you how I do this. I'll break it down. So going to the subject first, the only thing I really need to talk about is that final thing, the thing that stands out about you. Now, this was true for me. I was in the finals of the 400 meter in the state of Oregon, and I ran a 48.5, I think was my best time. That's for me what really stood out for me as a player. Was my speed, was that longer sprinting speed. And even now still as a player at the professional level, that really is what, is kind of like my special quality. By putting that there, it's a little attention grabbing. Maybe a coach might read this and go, I don't care. Many coaches might say that, but a lot of coaches are going to see that and go, wow, that's fast. I'm interested. Your special thing is just your height or your size. Maybe in the subject you say 6'2", 190 pounds. Or maybe it's just your stats. Maybe you had outstanding MLS next season or ECNL season and you want to write 8 goals, 7 assists in the 2024 ECNL season. Or maybe it's the fact that you've trained with a USL2 team, or you've trained or played abroad with a professional or semi-professional team. Then you want to just put that in that subject line as your attention grabber. This is what makes me special. This is what's going to stand me out from other players. And if you truly are looking at yourself and you're going, I don't think I have anything, then I would work on trying to get something that makes you stand out. But if you don't have anything, then you can leave it blank. You don't want to lie. You don't want to say something that's not true or exaggerate something that, is not really quantifiable. So if you have nothing, leave it blank. Next, all you have to do to get all this information, I'll show you how that first sentence can be done in 5 minutes. Google UC Davis men's soccer program. Super easy. Within 10 seconds, you should be able to navigate to the UC Davis men's soccer page, and you can easily go to the coaching staff and see the head coach's name. Coach Schaefer, Dwayne Schaefer, Jason O'Tailing, super easy. Every single collegiate program in the entire country will have something like this. Then you can go to their schedule and look up their previous season stats, or you can look up their next season stats, or you can just do what I did and go to the main page where it has the scrolling news on the website and just scroll through it to see the big headlines. These schools want to advertise how good their program is or special things that are happening about their program. They're going to basically make it easy on you to find news. So within 5 seconds, I saw they had a big win in the semifinals of the conference tournament. I saw that they lost in the finals, and I saw that all 3 graduating seniors went on to sign professional contracts. Those are the 3 things my brain locked into and said, okay, now I need to make a sentence that ties all that together. And now you can see, going back to that second sentence right here, I know it didn't end the way you and the team wanted, but making it to the conference finals and having all 3 seniors go on to sign professional contracts is a huge accomplishment. That one sentence is going to do so much for you as a player to attract that attention, that coach, and impress that coach. And it takes 5 seconds of just going to that website of that team and scrolling through the news. Okay, next I'm going to go back to the website and I'm going to look up ID camp timelines. They make it very easy because they want you to sign up for their ID camps. And I can see they have one in July and one in August. Again, 10 seconds to find this. Now I'm just going to pop over to the school's academic website. Really easy. UC Davis schools and majors. I'm going to go over to their website. I'm going to see all their schools and maybe even specific majors. I know as a high school kid, I wanted to be an engineer. I didn't know how much time and effort it was going to be to do that, but I wanted to be a civil engineer or something along those lines. So I'm being honest. I in this email, I'm saying I want to be a civil engineer. I see you have my major. I know that UC Davis is a STEM school with really good science and math programs. Perfect. 30 seconds. I can add this again to the email. Now this is where you want to invest your time for your top schools. So I'm going to go to YouTube and just type in UC Davis men's soccer full game. Now they honestly didn't have that many games. There's a lot of programs with a ton more games on, but I was able to find their game 2 years ago against Cal State Northridge. Honestly, the main thing I'm looking for is how I can tie how they play to my game. So watching this game, literally within 10 seconds, the announcer says this.
Both these teams are used to playing tight games. They play tight, they play close, they can play physical.
I don't even have to watch the entire game, but just from that announcer, within the first 10 seconds of the game, I already know that this team has grit. They're gritty. They're a hardworking team. That's what I'm getting from them. Now, I want to watch it, but that's what I'm getting. Now, truly, you have to watch it. You can't really just skim by it. I would really highly recommend locking in and watching 45 minutes. And you'll get really, really good snippets of information. Now, about 5 minutes in, you hear the announcer say this about Max Glasser.
Glasser, he won a state championship in track in the 400 back in high school.
He may be the fastest soccer player in the Big West.
That's awesome for me to link that to my play. And there's a reason why I ended up getting recruited by UC Davis and going to UC Davis is because they like that fast, athletic style of play, and they want their players to be fast and athletic. Here's another clip, just watching the game. Max setting up the goal for UC Davis.
Guys playing for Terry Davila. Nice through ball to Glasser. Glasser in the 18, has the angle, the cross, and deflected away on the far side. Here's the rebound from Horde, and it finds the back of the net.
And then finally, here's another clip of the right back Bilter making kind of an underlapping run.
Jamar goes airborne. Play on, say the officials.
Doesn't look like he touched anybody.
Here's Bilter outside the box, sends it in front.
If you see zero similarities at all, then you can kind of relate it to the entire game, how they play, whether it's extremely solid defensively or more of a transition game, or they kept really good possession of the ball overall. You can link whatever it is that you feel connection with to your game. So that's pretty much how I crafted that entire email. You can go and read the email again. Here it is. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, guys. Peace.